Guilds have always been a major aspect of MMORPGs, and that's kind of the whole point is to be playing online. That's what the whole MMO thing is for, because if not, you're better off just playing a single player game. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about guilds in Mirandus. But first, my name's Duyo, and if you like Mirandus, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel because that's all we talk about here. And if you want to join a community of other players who like Mirandus, then join the Discord. There'll be a link in the description below. I'm sure you're going to love it. You can chat with other Mirandus players. But let's go ahead and dive onto the video. So let's talk about guilds. And I know that Mirandus hasn't been released yet, but guilds are already forming, and they've been forming for a long time, well over a year now. And there is a permanent playtest coming up where you can start playing permanently, start earning Materium, and if you want to be part of that, joining a guild is going to come with so many benefits. So let's talk about some of the perks that traditional guilds provide. So joining a guild just gives you extra players to go exploring with, to be playing with. And Mirandus is going to be hard, and so it's extra necessary to be part of a guild in Mirandus. It's not going to be like these other MMOs that you can play nowadays. I know, like Final Fantasy 14, Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, even all of these games, you can level from 1 to max level completely solo with more or less no issues at all. But Mirandus is going to be a little harder, and you're going to be wanting to be in a group, in a party, and that's something that I really enjoy about the game being developed because okay, my first MMORPG was Shia, and the guilds were everything in there, joining a party and grinding, and you could only go so far solo, or else you'd be killing so slow one on one by yourself. You almost had to join a party, and guilds were just such an amazing thing back then. And this is going to bring that back because Mirandus is going to be hard enough that you'll want to group up with other players before you go exploring. So, if you need other players to go with, just ask your guildies, they'll go with you. That's pretty cool. Help with tough monsters. There's nothing better than like a high level guildie coming by. Let's say you're trying to chop some wood, you're trying to mine, you're trying to do your thing, right? And there's this big giant brute next to you who's just harassing you and you can't get around him. A high level guildie comes by, takes care of the problem for you, and you're like, hey, thanks so much. That's awesome. They're like, no problem. You're my guildie. Like that's the kind of benefits that you get with joining a guild, which is just so awesome. And then you do all of that, and someday you're the high level guildie. You can turn around and help somebody lower level with an issue that they're having, and I mean, there's no better joy than that, right? Help finding gear, help with information. So, okay, you can search online forever. You can watch 4 days worth of YouTube videos for this information. A lot of this information is going to be available somewhere for free, or you can ask the guildie and get an answer in 4 seconds. Um, Sharing information is going to be huge, and maybe you have like you just upgraded your gear. Your old gear really ain't worth selling, but there is somebody lower level than you that could definitely use it. You can pass your gear on to them. Somebody higher than you can pass their gear on to you. Um, Buy, sell, and trade. Maybe you want to buy a horse, sell a horse, buy some potions, sell some potions. You'll never be needing to find somebody because you'll have all of these people available in your guild you can just talk to, and it just makes things so much easier. And then one of the biggest benefits, especially for the guild that I'm in, is guildie discounts. So I am in Masters of Materium. They own basically the whole monopoly on the entire food chain, which is going to be something that you need to do in Mirandus is eat food, and having guildie discounts is going to be a huge deal. I mean, it is a play to earn game, so the more discounts you have, the less you're spending, the more you're earning. And I know I'll be like chopping down trees, and who am I gonna give a discount to? Some random dude or my guildie? My guildie's probably gonna get like a 10% discount on the wood that I chop down, Or let's say I'm crafting arrows, I'm going to sell it to my guildies for a little bit cheaper than I would these random strangers. Just think if your best friend owned a bakery, and sure, you could go to like Dunkin' Donuts and buy full price donuts, but your best friend is probably gonna give you a couple of free donuts, give you half price donuts, something like that, and that's the way guilds are. So that's a huge benefit of joining guilds, right? All right, so Masters of Materium, they actually have well, they got all of these. They got a Discord. It's actually more active than the official Mirandus Discord half the time. I mean, there's a lot of people in there. They got a YouTube video, and as much as I love my channel, this is the most informative YouTube channel for Mirandus that's on the internet. And they got Twitter. I never go to Twitter, but they got this really cool website, really cool logo, and then I'll just share some information about the guild with you. And again, no pressure. I'm not out here recruiting. I'm just sharing information. And if you are interested, I'm going to have all of their information in the description below. So just go check them out. Or if you just want to check out what other guilds are doing, like maybe you're in a small guild, but you want to see what the big boys are doing, you can come check this out. And the reason why I say the big boys is because right now they have the most amount of players, they have the most amount of assets in the game. I know there's several archdukes, tons and tons of landies. Like I said, they basically own a monopoly on the entire food chain, and that's the land that hosts the food, that's the buildings that produce the foods, that's the exemplars that make the food. That's kind of it says that somewhere right here. Economic focus is on controlling food in Mirandus, and so far they've done exactly that. Yeah, so let me just share some information. So there's really two games in Mirandus. You can go out there, explore, raid, and hunt, and craft in Mirandus, and that's what the players will be doing. And then there's the more economic game, and that's focused on landies, buildings, naval assets, and crafters kind of have a leg in both whatever here. And so, okay, so the structure of mom, and again, a lot of guilds are going to have the same kind of assets that we already talked about, the same kind of qualities, they're going to help each other out, they're going to share info. But this is a little bit more that Masters of Materium's doing that goes above and beyond. So they want to create a structure that allows everyone the opportunity to potentially maximize their return on their assets as they wish, give all members agency and independence while offering sufficient benefits. This is a play to earn game. The exemplars, the buildings, the landies, they do cost money, and obviously you want to earn your money back through Materium while playing, and that's the whole goal of Masters of Materium. Your mom's going to help you get your money back here. Create a guild that synergizes members' assets to potentially maximize their returns. Just because you own a building doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be making your money back. Or maybe you will be making your money back, but you could do it in a slightly better way. They're going to have teams of people focused on the best potential way to earn your money and just earn Materium faster, earn it more efficiently, just do it in the best way possible. Create opportunities and unique benefits for smaller teams who want to remain independent while still benefiting from joining a bigger guild. This is huge. A lot of people don't like guilds with 800 plus people in them because right now I think we're at like 840 something, and that is a big guild. It's almost too big. So they are going to create opportunities for you to form your own small niche within this large guild. You get all the benefits of being in a big guild and all the benefits of having your own smaller team within the guild. So win-win situation there. I know, like my brother personally will not join a guild that has 800 plus people in it. He wouldn't join a guild that has like 80 plus people, a tenth of that size. So big guilds, you're just one person, you can get easily lost in it, but they're gonna take that extra step to make sure everybody feels included by creating smaller teams that you can always be a part of, which is something we need because it's going to be a big world. There's going to be towns spread out across the whole world of Mirandus, and we're not all going to be clumped together in one spot. We're going to be spread out, and these smaller teams is going to help with that, anyways. And then create every type of specialized team required in Mirandus to maximize productivity in every Mirandus game loop. So that's your different gatherers, that's your different crafters, that's your different types of explorers. Whatever profession you want to be, they're gonna have a specialized team required for that. So like I have a green cloak, I'm going to be chopping down trees, maybe crafting some wood, and they're going to have a specialized team just to help people with that kind of stuff. They're going to have another one for raiding and all of that. Create elite raid teams for the toughest, most rewarding missions. This is the largest guild. They do own the most assets. That includes a whole bunch of elves, and they are going to be on the forefront of all of the major bosses. So Mirandus is going to be different from some other MMORPGs. I'll talk more about this in another video, but they're going to have what is a one of one boss. So where other video games, a boss spawns every 8 hours, every day, every week, there's going to be truly unique bosses in the world of Mirandus that drop a whole lot of money, a whole lot of Materium. One of one, like a legendary sword, where this is literally the only one that exists and will ever exist within the game. And Masters of Materium is going to be on top of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, they are going to be in the front, and if you're into being in the front lines, then this could be the guild for you as well. Dynasty Council. I'm going to skip this a little bit, but basically, if you own a hamlet or higher, so farming hamlet, ranching hamlet, village of the farmer, or anything higher, including like a whole duke size piece of land, they have a whole different area that's focused on this to maximize your buildings. So maximize your buildings, maximize the exemplars that work in those buildings, maximize your land deed so that you can make more money. Because the cheapest of these, I believe that's the farming hamlet, is like $6,000, $10,000. I think on Open Sea right now, there's the cheapest one is going for $10,000, but I think the last one was sold for like $6,500. I'd have to look to make sure, but like it's a lot of money. So you want to make that money back, and that's what they're gonna specialize in because the leaders, they've all spent like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in this game. They're going to be earning their money back, and they're going to help you optimize it. Find spots to place your buildings. So there are more buildings than there are land slots, building slots available on the land. Not everybody, if you own a building, not everybody with the building is going to get to place one. However, if you're in Masters of Materium and you're having issues finding a place to place your building, you won't, because if you don't place your building, you're not earning your money back on it, which would kind of suck, but they got you here. Maximize ability to find exemplars to work in your buildings. I kind of already said that. Maximize use of all buildings by having groups of exemplars working to maximize its utility and profits. Create profitable mining company, weapon crafters, armament crafters, potion creators, farming company, stone crafting, woodshop company, map creation team, sea taxi business. So all of those, they're gonna have their hand in everything, which they can because they have the most amount of players in their guild, right? And then the Masters of Materium Armada. Um, a little bit about boats. I personally am probably not going to be messing around with boats too much, but if you want, you can pause it and read that. Uh, the Masters of Materium clans. Anyone who owns an exemplar and enjoys M.O.M may become an exalted exemplar. we are going to create hyper-organized exemplar clans for crafters of all type, nautical explorers, miners, farmers and ranchers, raiders and hunters. Advantages for masters of Materium exalted exemplars, discounts on food and sleep. They are going to own a monopoly in the food chain, and so you get discounts on food. Every exemplar is going to be spending some kind of amount of Materium on food. So if you get a discount on that, that's kind of a big deal and a huge benefit there. Ability to be part of a high level raiding and hunting teams, access to the best food. There's food once again, access and discounts to the best potions, access to the best arrows and archery gear, be able to join various hunting and raiding teams, discounts on weapons and armors. You get the idea. A bunch of hunting and raiding teams, a bunch of discounts, and those are the kind of benefits you get for joining a large guild that can be very helpful. So if you haven't joined a guild yet, but you're interested in joining one before the upcoming playtest that's in roughly 2 months from now, then just consider M.O.M, Masters of Materium. All their information is going to be in the description below. So check them out for yourself. You might like them, maybe you don't like them, and maybe you join another guild. Either way, joining a guild now just gets you a leg up on the competition when we get into that playtest, right? And then speaking about the playtest, the only requirement to join that playtest that's in about 2 months is to own an exemplar. Not quite sure what an exemplar is? Check out this video where I explain it all in great detail. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.